Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight TV edition. I am Peter. Oh my, that is scary. What are you doing? Stop it. Stop it right now. Oh dear. How far did I get? I'm Peter, he's Tim. That's, I think I got to there. Uh,
I'm
we,
happy.
we talk about we talk about horror TV shows. We're working our way through Tales from the Crypt. We're on season 3. This is going to be episode 8 of season 3. It's called
Mhm.
Easel Kill You. I had no idea what an easel was. I looked it up. Uh,
Oh, for God's
you learn
sakes.
something new every day. It turns out it's the thing that holds the canvas for the painter as he's painting his picture.
Well, I guess like for a millennial like you, that's just all part of the iPad.
I'm like 3 years younger than you, Timmy. 3 years. Um, no, I legitimately didn't know that. I would have called that the uh, the holder
Painty standy.
thingy. Yes, something along those lines. But no, I've learned something new. I appreciate it. So yeah, spoilers for the episode as always, as we do. So the plot of this one, as you'd guess, given that I just gave you the definition of an easel, is about a painter played by Tim Roth named Jack,
Mhm.
and basically he's struggling for inspiration. No one's buying his paintings. He's a recovering alcoholic. He's in a shitty apartment. He's down in his luck.
Well,
Uh,
let me
oh,
ask you something real quick, Pete. As I'm curious,
if this
uh,
is about the easel, I'm going to.
knowing like what Tales from the Crypt does and what it's
Mhm.
about, and just like in the first 1 or 2 minutes, seeing that the main character is a frustrated artist that's looking for inspiration, did you instantly know what was going to happen?
Um, no, I wouldn't say I did specifically. I mean, it didn't surprise me where it
Yeah.
went, certainly. But I could have seen it like because it's Tales from the Crypt. I could have equally have seen the plot be something like he draws a monster and it comes to life. You know, like I mean,
Okay.
we've kind of had that before, but like
Yeah.
there's a lot of wacky things it could go on to.
Mhm.
But of course, the actual plot as it happens is that he accidentally kills his neighbor, and he ends up taking some photos of his neighbor as he's lying there dead, and then he uses that as his inspiration.
Mhm.
And he finds this billionaire or millionaire who loves paintings and offers to pay
Mhm.
him thousands of dollars for it because he likes the macabre, he likes the dark side of humanity,
Mhm.
and that's kind of it. And as you might expect, he eventually starts maybe going out of his way to kill some other people to give him more
Mhm.
inspiration for future paintings because he fancies the money. But he's conflicted because he goes to Alcoholics Anonymous. He's got a support group, and him and
Mhm.
this lady are kind of falling for each other, and she like tries to come over and
Yeah.
pose for him and stuff, and she tries to flirt, and he's not very, uh,
He ain't feeling it.
receptive. Yeah, he's
Mhm.
not.
He's about
And
his work. He's a struggling artist, which I can relate to.
I'm not quite sure
And
how the struggling artist is affording this giant apartment, but that's
I
a
did I thght that as well.
yeah. It's a constant trope in like movies and TV that characters who should never be able to afford like an apartment can somehow have this thing that makes my place look like it's you know
Yeah,
some poor
like
person's cupboard.
yeah, like to be fair, I'm not sure where this took place, so certainly there are other smaller towns or cities where rent is not as high as like where I live in Los Angeles, which is of course a big major city, but like still that is a huge place.
I would almost
It,
argue in a smaller town you wouldn't find a place this big though. Like sure
true,
the
yeah.
actual rent for the regular apartments would be cheaper, but I feel like you wouldn't get like places like this. I feel like this type of apartment is very big city kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that you can hear like the train or the monorail or whatever outside his window. I mean,
Mhm.
okay, that knocks down the price a little bit. You can hear the train often, but
And from what we know of the guy, he doesn't have like another job or anything, and it doesn't seem like he's sold a painting in a real long time.
nah, he was working on some paintings for an opening because this art gallery owner promised him that she would use his work. So he worked, I think he said 6 months working his ass off with these paintings, these abstract paintings, and then she's like,
Mhm.
nah, they're not very good. And she's nice enough. She offers him a job. Like
Yeah.
we could use some help around the gallery if you want help with money while you do whatever what you're doing otherwise. But and then he imagines killing her with a hammer, which I thought looked pretty cool because the hammer's like just sort of sticking out of her head when she lands. It's great.
Yeah.
So I never actually asked the question, Tim. What did you think
Mhm.
of Easel Kill You?
I like this episode a lot. Um, I
You know what? I'm delighted to hear it because I feel like we've had about 10 in a row with you going, oh, it was only okay. Oh, I didn't like
yeah.
it. Oh, I'm Tim and I'm so entitled. Give me what I want.
Well, I mean, yeah, I deserve good things. Um, but no, this was I thought it was a pretty fun episode. Um, Not one that was really, yeah, not one of the more comedic ones. A little more, serious. There isn't really many
Oh,
goofy stuff or
well, a little more
levity
psychological.
stuff.
I like the violence. Tim Roth, of course, is a great actor. So he kind of
Oh yeah.
carries it. Him being kind of on edge and like going down this path where he's like
Mhm.
sort of struggling and he accidentally kills a guy and then he sort of intentionally kills his neighbor, and that's a great moment when he realizes he can kill his neighbor because he's like, oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
have to carry all this dead guy stuff downstairs. I might slip and break my neck, and he's like, oh, do you want help? And I like how it cuts to her being just he's pushed her down the stairs
Yeah.
and she's tumbling.
Yeah, that it was actually like that was actually kind of funny and like a very like
Yeah.
dark comedy
Oh
kind of
yeah, it's
sense.
definitely black humor in this. My favorite part of that whole thing though, she lands on like these garden shears, so there's like these blades coming up through her back, and she's lying there dead, and he takes some photos as he's been doing. But when he gets up close to her, she sort of wakes up. She's not quite dead yet, and she starts trying to grab for him. And I like that as he's trying to hold her back, and he's holding her down by the throat. He grabs his camera and takes another photo as she's struggling, because he's like,
Yeah,
oh, this is a good moment. I can capture this struggle on the canvas.
and I mean, there's definitely a few things that are like the romance between him and Sharon was like, pretty fast, but
It was honestly no. I think it worked to an extent though because they had a little bit of chemistry,
mhm,
and I did like this the setup of it where she was like trying to flirt and he keeps sort of ignoring it. He doesn't even seem to
yeah,
care. Like she does that thing where she poses with her, she pulls up her skirt a little bit and like has her leg all up in kind of a sexy way, and he doesn't even look at her, and she feels all kind of demoralized, and she puts her leg back down, and
yeah.
she looks defeated that he didn't even look. And
Mhm.
I think there were some nice touches in there, and obviously he cares for her, and that kind of sets up where the sort of the end game of it is, where I was convinced that the millionaire was going to turn out to be the doctor, because obviously she accidentally gets hit by a car. She finds that he's killed someone, and she runs out and gets hit by a cab,
Which
and
just speeds off.
it just speeds off. Of course it does. And the doctor's like, "All right, well, there's one neurosurgeon who can come in and like fix her, but he's really expensive." And he's like, "I'll get you the money." So he goes and kills some random guy in the car park, so for inspiration, and he paints something in his blood on a bit of cardboard. Why the guy thinks this is worth 100 grand, I don't know. Which, by the way, the millionaire's played by Peck from Ghostbusters.
Oh, right.
Yeah, him, and he's also the journalist in Die Hard 1 too. I knew him from something. I couldn't quite place him. I looked him up, and that was where he's from. He's from those two movies. Uh, so yes, it's true. This man has no penis.
um, yeah, and then I did see like the twist coming. Like as soon as they said that there was one specific neurosurgeon that might be able to save him, I thought that, oh well, it's obviously going to be like someone that he is going to kill.
Well,
I did not.
I thought it was going to be the millionaire. That's where I was thinking, because obviously he's rich.
Yeah.
If there's one neurosurgeon who can do this, then he's probably quite rich. This is quite a wealthy profession to be in,
Yeah.
and that's where I
But
thought it was going.
but then like as soon as he steps out of the hospital though,
And
and
he
you
sees
see a
that guy,
guy
yeah.
walking in to the hospital,
I
you're
was,
like,
honestly, if I've got a complaint, if I have a disappointment in the episode, is that I do think the ending's a little bit lukewarm. It just kind of, the cop comes up to him as he's looking in at his now dead girlfriend who he's failed to save because he killed the one guy who could save her. The cop's like, oh, I understand you're an artist, implying that they're about to catch him, they're about to like find him guilty of what he did. And it just kind of ends there. I mean, it's a nice shot because the blind's sort of shut in his face and you can sort of see his eyes and the
yeah.
but like I thought it was just I thought it was building to something bigger, like because the episode was building so well. I just thought the ending was maybe a little bit of more of a whimper than I was hoping for.
Yeah, what I kind of like about it is usually we see these, people that are, larger than life jerks or criminals, that get some type of like external comeuppance. I
Hmm.
like that this though, everything is his fault. Like everything is because of his mistakes. It's not like there's uh some giant muck monster that comes out of the ground to teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Also, I mean, they bring up that he's a recovering alcoholic, and he relapses because the millionaire offers him a drink, and he decides to take it. And obviously, I think there's some themes in there where it's dealing with your inner demons and your personal sort of, your personal dark side, which is kind of what the
yeah,
episode's about. And if you let it get the better of you, it will consume you. And ultimately, that's what happens here. Is he lets his dark side take over in a very literal way, where he's killing people for money, and it comes up to him. He doesn't get to get away with it. So I think there is
you
like
know,
an actual message in there, as opposed to a lot of
yeah.
episodes, but they're just kind of there for fun.
It almost makes you wonder if that's kind of what the millionaire wanted as well. Like part of his passion is not just getting these paintings, but the dark side of humanity and almost seeing this guy like kind of get corrupted by him in a little bit.
Yeah, maybe he actually represents the alcohol. He is
Yeah,
his alcohol, and in this like grand metaphor of the dark side coming out with the alcohol, it's him that makes it come out. Whereas typically it's the booze that makes your other
yeah,
personality come out, if you will.
because he even says like after the first painting that he gives him like, oh, here's a down payment for your next one, and he's like, no, I'm not doing this again, and he's like, we'll
Addictive.
see about that.
Yeah, it's an addiction. Yeah. Nah, so it's a pretty solid episode. The actual deaths are pretty cool. Like I said, the hammer in the face at the start was really fun, even though it wasn't a real death, but it looked good. It
Yeah,
looked brutal, and the women falling in the garden shears, the big garden scissors, looked really good.
yeah,
No, it was some good,
and
so
then
it's good death scenes.
yeah, and then the last guy he kills, like when his face is all beat up, like it looked like almost like a little more realistic than I feel
Mm,
like you'd uh, see in some of these things. Like there's just a weird punchiness to it that I'm like,
mm.
ooh, that looks
And
disturbing.
he starts rubbing his hand on his face to get the blood to just use his
Yeah,
fingers to paint on the thing.
yeah, I thought that was cool. He tries to use his brush at first, and it's like, oh, this isn't working, and then he has to do a finger painting.
Yeah, which obviously leads to the Crypt Keeper's joke at the end when he's using the actual fingers to
Yeah,
do a finger painting. Although my favourite Crypt Keeper bit of this one was actually at the start when he said, "Hey, it's me, Vincent Van Gogh." That was a good line.
yeah,
It's a good bad Crypt Keeper pun. That's exactly what that is.
yeah. So I was actually pretty surprised. I really quite enjoyed this one.
I was into this one too. This was a proper good episode, so I recommend it. That is episode 8 of season 3 of Tales from the Crypt. So let us know what you think of this one in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Helps us out a lot, of course. You can help us out even more by going over to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV and check out some of the bonuses. Of course, one of the bonuses is that you get these episodes of our Tales from the Crypt reviews a week early. So if you're watching this on YouTube, it's already up. The next one's already up on Patreon. So if that's worth $1 to you, then yeah, you can help us out. But otherwise, guys, get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. But thank you once again for watching. We'll see you next time.